Hey everyone, welcome. I hope you're all doing well. Today we are doing the second part of our series, Healing Saturn in Your Natal Chart. The first part was about healing self, how Saturn represents your development, your personality, your overall experiences in life. And today we're going to talk about how Saturn deeply influences our relationships, every connection. Okay, and why Saturn hugely influences our relationships is because, firstly, it's a planet which exalts in Libra. There's a reason why a planet connected to stability, also a planet connected to society, a planet which is also about self-preservation, boundaries. It's exalted in a sign which is about love, which is about partnerships, connections, where there's give and take. Because as Saturn is in Libra, it's a very good sign for it. What Libra represents, it represents the seventh house. And what is seventh house? How the entire world, the people who are just standing in front of you, how they project their views, their energy towards you. First house is how you project yourself on other people, how you are expressing and giving your feelings, thought process, energy towards other people. And the seventh house is how the others are deeply influencing you. All right, so there is this art of self-preservation here. If the world gives me a lot of sorrow, pain, bitterness, and if my Saturn is not strong, I will be always in the fight or flight mode, because Saturn rules over the Muladhara chakra, which is so significant with respect to the survival. Okay, so if the world projects a lot of bitterness, harshness towards me, and I feel, okay, this is injustice happening to me, so with that I will start getting more bitter towards myself. I will punish myself. I'll be so rude to my own self. So you're not learning to balance that connection. What the world is giving you, you're absorbing it, that negativity within you. So Saturn here creates this boundary, this self-preservation. Okay, that this is how we balance, this is how we deal with people with distance. There should be equality, there should be fair give and take, but you cannot breach that space and come into my zone and absolutely, devastate me. So that fairness, that balance, it's not about only how the world gives you that equality and justice, but how do you give yourself that equality and justice? This is what Saturn represents. Okay, Saturn, on one hand, it shows isolation, loneliness, but Saturn also shows the commitment, the longevity, the stability in connections. So it's important to see how Saturn is placed in every house. Saturn do have a story to tell about your relationships, how you connect with people. Okay, so today we're talking about how Saturn will influence your relationships, any kind of repeating pattern or karma you will see in your relationships, and how you can heal your connections, what kind of actions you can take to make things much better. With Saturn in the first house, there's a lot to create for self first. The self growth is significant here. This is a house from where you view the world, how you view things, your emotions, your thought process, your ideas, how these things are coming together, and how you think about the world, your energy, your views going to others, how you are giving your energy to the world. So it's your influence on others, your mind, your thinking influencing the world. So Saturn in the first house, there are a lot of limitations which you may create for yourself in this journey. Even small minor errors, difficult experiences, all of these things do create a lot of guilt or anxiousness, hesitation to open up and be a part of this world. So how to heal your relationships with this placement? Well, to create yourself, to build yourself, to build your individuality. This is the house where Mars attains a lot of strength. Okay, and Mars, well, Saturn considers Mars as the enemy, because Saturn is a planet which is about being consistent, being patient, dedication, and Mars is the actions which are coming through the sense of impulse. So there's a lot of impulsiveness with this placement, where anyone, any situation which hurts you, which challenges you, you act very instantly, and you act as if that you are not loved, you won't be loved in this life, you feel you are in the wrong place, and then instantly you will protect yourself, you will create a boundary, you will move on to some new friend circle, you will move on to something new, and over there also you may face the same problem. So with Saturn in the first house, you may deal with these repeating patterns of being with the wrong people, because there is this difficulty to express yourself, and because your views are not matching with other people, you don't feel that sense of familiarity with others. But when you accept yourself, when you are having a lot of knowledge of self, you will make better connections in this life, better friendships, better relationships in this journey. And there is a lot of fear as well, and this fear is about other people coming into your zone, they're occupying your space, and you are not left with enough freedom. And you may also face rivalry or too much of competition in your personal relationships. Okay, so the best part is how to heal your relationships, how to heal yourself in this life is to work on yourself, be comfortable with who you are. Self acceptance is significant. The lesson to be learned from the relationships in this life is courage, to be bold, to learn to trust yourself. And there might be even issues with intimacy. Again, being surrounded by people, it looks like challenging sometimes. At work front, you can be someone who is a great leader and doing everything, you're working along with a lot of people, but when it comes to that close emotional and physical intimacy, things do get difficult. So again, building yourself up into a very strong person, that is what is required to heal. Saturn in the second house, and this is the house of family, the family in which you were born, your immediate surroundings after the birth. Now, from this placement, one thing is clear, there is a challenge with money. It could be that you're not having the sufficient. Even if you have sufficient, if you earn in a very good manner, still you feel that you're not so strong enough, people don't value enough, so I should gather more resources, I should gather more finances, so that the people will respect me, because this is the conditioning which happens since birth. What you learn from the people around you, the more assets, the more treasure, the more money, the good things you carry in your life, you become more accepted and respected by the people and the society. You should carry that asset, that wonderful treasure with you. But the best part here is the realization, which will definitely come to you at one point of time, that you are the asset, you are the treasure. This is the house of value. What do you value the most in this life? Deep down, you do value family bonds. You do, even in your relationships, in your marriage, in your partnership, you want a secure zone, a family like atmosphere. You do want that. But it takes a lot of time with this placement, because 2nd, 7, 11, very significant houses with respect to marriage. So marriage may take some time, or the stability in the marriage may take some time, because somewhere you feel you don't have enough money in your hands to take care of the needs of other people. But this is something which needs to go away, because it's not just the value you earn, you carry, or you get from your family, but it is also how you value yourself, how you see the beauty in you. You must see the beauty in yourself as a person, the potential you carry, your love for others, what you can do for others. That also carries a lot of value. Your nature is an asset. So to give yourself that value is significant. The people you may meet in this journey, when it comes to family bonds, even with respect to love and romance, what they may do is they create a doubt in you. They may create a belief system that I'm not so good, I'm not good enough, I don't carry that value in me so that I can be respected and loved. So this is a placement where you don't see your beauty. This is the house of Taurus. This is the house of Venus. So why you have this placement, not just that you have to work very hard with your money and to learn the art of saving money, okay, but also learning to appreciate the beautiful qualities you carry in this journey. Be appreciative of self. Value yourself, treat yourself with that value, and then you see how magic happens in your relationships as well. Yes, there is a karma where you have to tolerate a lot with respect to the family bonds. To great levels, you have to be there, learn things, and you have to face the turmoil, and it gives you a lot of strength to be patient with your loved ones. This is a big karma you deal with. But how to heal your relationships is be appreciative of self. And when you know you are bringing so much of value in a relationship, you will no longer settle for the nonsense or the toxicity of other people. So again, being self-appreciative is important here. Saturn in the 3rd house. And what does it signify about yourself, your relationships, the karma you go through in relationships? And how can you heal your connections and the bonds? Well, this is the house of communication, what you think and how you express, the connection between your brain and your tongue. And definitely, there are so many self-made limitations here, again, to express, to be openly a part of the world, because this is also the house of courage and decision making. And there might have been a pattern where you are being silenced so many times while growing up. This leads to blockage of saying what you like, what you want to say, because of the fear of rejection and abandonment. Because, as I mentioned, Saturn is the elder. So, the elders in the family might have been interfering with what you have to say and what you need not to say, your decisions versus the decisions of the elders, telling you that your decisions are not right, you are making mistakes again and again. So, with this pattern, one tends to doubt his or her own decisions in life. So, it makes you feel doubtful about your choices in relationships. Uh, that fear is so strong here. What if I make a mistake in choosing the person? If I just create more problems for myself by choosing the wrong person. So you create a boundary, you create a limitation, and then the ability to open up and be with people, to connect with people, gets very challenging. You limit your connections, you limit yourself, which is a good thing because you have to protect yourself. But Saturn here, the karma of Saturn here is that when you communicate with the world, when you deal with the world, you may see failures, you may be rejected, you may be criticized. But with this, you should establish more courage and strength regarding your actions and your efforts and whatever you do in life. It gives you a practice with respect to your decision making, how to invest your time, how to invest your efforts into different people, into different projects. Whatever you do, it makes you more, I would say, it gives you the expertise. The very reason of Saturn being in third house is not about you need to create a boundary and be on your own self. No, it gives you the practice. The failures you see in your relationships, even in the work, it's because you will redo it, you will try again with more wisdom, with more knowledge, and you are doing the best. So that practice is coming through the Saturn. And how can you heal your relationships with this placement, Saturn in the third house? By communication itself, by expressing yourself, saying your truth with the people, and also learning this, that who needs to be close to you and who doesn't deserve to be close to you. Not everyone can be your friend, so you have to learn to limit your social circle. Of course, do not go complete silent here. Saturn aspects the ninth house as well, so that wisdom, okay, that needs to be enhanced. Who is right for you, who is not right for you, that experience, that wisdom definitely comes with time. And the best way to heal is to communicate openly with the people. Expression is so important, to say what you feel, talk about your pain to people who really understand you. Even if there is one person, that flow of data, that information going out from you, it's important, because that expression will heal you, and better communication with the people, with your important connections, will heal you. With Saturn in the fourth and fifth house, the most important thing which I always witness is dealing with identity issues. When your own foundation is not strong, I'm not saying you're not a strong person, but it's like you have your own views, you have your own ways of taking actions, and then others try to intervene and stop you, and they tell you that you're not doing the right thing. So that belief in self is somewhere destroyed at the very initiation of life. And it's true for Saturn in the fourth house, because this is the house of security. And when you don't feel secure, when you don't feel enough comfort in your own being, with your own personality, then anyone can step into your mind and disturb you. Anyone can literally just come into your life and challenge you, disturb you. So the karma here with the Saturn in the fourth house, with respect to love, with respect to relationships, family bonds, is to create a very strong foundation for self first. Create a life where you are doing things which really make you happy and bring a sense of comfort for yourself. You should know what makes you happy and makes you feel secure. When you create that happiness for self, you can fight with anything, because the main struggle with this placement is dealing with emotional conflicts with the people. Because when you are in a weak zone, you allow anyone, like literally anyone can just step into the situation and will hurt you. And the coping mechanism which comes with this placement is that then you will be trying to maintain a distance with everyone. You don't want to open up emotionally. You don't want to be a part of emotional connections, because you feel anyone who comes in will destroy you. Anyone with whom you have emotional bond, that person holds the capacity to destroy you. So when you are emotionally healthy, you're happy with your own being, what makes you happy, you invest your time into things which really make you happy, you create a strength for yourself. And yes, there is this tendency to be stuck in a certain feeling, which can be challenging. So emotional openness is important when it comes to relationships, and learning when to open up and when to create boundary is a part of this journey. Constantly you may meet different people, certain patterns are happening, situations are happening, and sometimes you may regret, like, why I opened up to this person. With every lesson you learn to understand how to be with people, where to invest your time, and where you have to protect yourself. You have to allow others to be a part of your journey. Sometimes learning to depend on others as well. They can help you, they can assist you, support you. You have to allow that in this journey. Saturn in the fifth house is very similar to Saturn in the fourth house, because here one struggles with the self-image and the individuality, and the concept of self is not so strong. It's like when you don't know yourself, then others will create an image for you, and then you are being seen through that image for the entire life. So it could be you're struggling to change who you are, to show others that this is who I am, and what you think about me since such a long time. I'm not that person. And fifth house is about being a child, about joy, about the excitement towards different things of life. So a house which is connected to the soul, connected to the childlike nature, and a planet of maturity, old age, is sitting over there. It just brings a lot of rejection, and the more the rejection comes in, the need of approval gets much intense. Every single bit of your life, you want that approval. even if it's a decision of your own, you want to do something up for yourself, you need approval from others, you want that validation. And the best thing to heal is to trust your decisions, to trust the self here, and again to find out ways in life which really gives you a lot of happiness, doing things which really brings bliss in your life. Because here there is this inability to experience joy, and the joy is just sitting in those areas, those interests you have which were being suppressed while growing up. So there is shyness here, the shyness or the need to get approval from the loved ones with respect to romance, with respect to marriage. That need to get respect, it just makes everything very difficult. And there's also fear of guilt tripping, like others are putting you to shame for not doing something correctly, or others taking advantage of your emotional vulnerability. So as these things are happening with respect to love, with respect to relationships, you may try to control the outcome of things. You may try to control how the bond, the relationship may go forward. So it leads to a lot of challenges here. So how to heal your connections with this placement is to be open to experience life without the fear of being judged. And the connection with self needs to be mended first. Okay. And this is the house of Purva Punya as well. This is the house of romance. Saturn makes these things a bit difficult. That emotional beauty in a relationship needs to be seen from here, the fifth house. And Saturn brings the pride, the ego in the relationships here, and that the happiness is somewhere gets impacted. So there's also a lesson to not just show your individuality, but to see the other person's soul as well, to see the other person's individuality as well. Saturn in the sixth house. Here, with respect to relationships, it's a challenging placement, to be honest, because here Saturn is 2 places away from the fifth house of romance and Purva Punya, and Saturn here is 12 places away from the seventh house. So it creates a conflict, because what happens here, that what you expect from the other person, that need to understand what you value in the relationship and what the other person expects you to do, there is this blockage, restriction to make those changes. You may restrict to change, the other person may also restrict to change. A sense of stubborn nature is here. And being 12 places away from the seventh house, it blocks the union, it blocks the ability of the relationship to go forward, and it also damages the personal connections, because this is a house which represents the relatives coming through the mother's side. This is a house which shows the relatives, and this is the house of obstacles. This is the house of the debts. So you may struggle with certain relationships which you cannot break away instantly. There's some responsibility connected to them, a liability connected to them. Maybe there's no responsibility, liability, but it's simply blood connections. They're so difficult, and you don't know how to make them better or how to go away from them. And this is the lesson coming through Saturn, is to survive, to be there and still rise beautifully in life, to create that endurance that even if you are in a company of people who challenge you, you are doing wonderfully. Whatever you want to do in life and taking care of self, you learn to be in a place like how in a desert a flower grows. It's a miracle. So the environment, the atmosphere is hostile. The people you get, they're not very helpful, and then you learn to be in that place. You learn to grow in that place where you don't have enough resources or support, because somewhere Saturn wants you to be more strong. It doesn't want you to be afraid of anything in life. That personal growth comes from here. And of course, you deal with people with whom you may have certain very strong karmic debts, though Saturn, wherever it sits, the people connected to that house, you may have certain debt with them. But this is a karmic debt which is very repetitive. You may struggle with the same situation with the very same person again and again. And the best way here to heal your relationships, to heal even yourself, is to never think that you are weak. To be, I would say, a very honest person to self. When you are doing right, you should not step away. You should not shy away. When you have that knowledge that yes, I am right, you know it, do not shy away, fight for yourself. This is how you heal, by showing that I'm here, I'm confident, I know the truth, what I do, what I don't do, standing for self, fighting for self. Not every battle is great, of course, so that wisdom, that need to understand which battle is good for you, which is not, but sometimes you have to fight. You cannot escape, and learning to confront, learning to support yourself here is essential. Saturn in the 7th house. So Saturn from here, looking at the first house, it's looking at you. And with this placement, you may not be able to see yourself so easily. Like the world, the entire world can look at your face, your expressions, right? But you're the only one who cannot see your face, except you have to look into the mirror. You can see the entire world, but you cannot see your beautiful face. So this is what is happening here, that the world can look at you, and the only way you're gathering information, you're gathering knowledge of self, is through the world. The world acts like a mirror to you, and you see yourself through them. Saturn here attains a very strong position because it makes one a master in dealing with people, because that constant learning which you come across by other people, how they connect with you, how they deal with you, what they make you feel, it creates that inner awakening of who you are. That practice, those experiences with people will make you someone who is more aware of self, and you learn more how to deal with people. So here, the biggest challenge in relationships is the struggle to understand how much to give and how to receive, because one may give a lot, receive nothing in relationships, or there is some lack of equality which you may deal with, and then from here you learn to give more importance to, I would say, the justice is significant, equality is significant, taking responsibility for self is also significant. So understanding that you don't have to completely give yourself away to people, this is the karma, this is something you need to learn to maintain that give and take, not like a transaction, but to see where to work more and where to work less with respect to relationships. Over here you have to learn what are you giving in a relationship, what are you giving to others, because Saturn in the 7th house is about how others are projecting their feelings, their emotions, their impact over you. So they tend to project their hard feelings, their challenges on you. So you must know what you deserve, where you stand. That's why you're learning a lot from the world. The world acts like a mirror. And you may think that it is your responsibility to make things better with the other person. It's your liability. It's you who have to fix everything all the time. So it keeps you in a very weak position with respect to relationships. You may feel you're doing a lot and the other person is taking more from you. So you really need to learn a lot from others, and also to have a firm faith in what you are giving, the value you are giving in the relationship, trusting that the only way to heal the relationships is to understand your part, what you are doing. You're doing significant things for other person, to have that happy feeling that I am doing my best. Saturn in the 8th house, with this placement one deals with the hesitation to open up. It gives hesitation to be in union. Why? Because one may resist the changes which may come along with the relationship. Like, it's your car and you're allowing someone else to be in your car, to be in the driver's seat and drive you to a destination. So the changes which do come in your life when you get into union, when you get into marriage, when you collaborate with someone, and the control the other person can have over you, most importantly how this person's actions, behavior can control you, your life. Because when you are emotionally invested and you love someone, that kind of the kind of control this person will have on you, you're afraid of that, fear of intimacy, fear of being too close to someone, because that person may have an advantage to control you emotionally. This is the biggest fear with respect to relationships. And Saturn here shows the need to let go the fear. Whatever challenges you, whatever keeps you stuck in a difficult mindset, break that and move away from that mindset. The karma here with respect to relationships is uh, you resist the changes which may come along with the relationship. Like when someone comes into your life, the change which comes in and how you have to change as per that person. You have to do certain uh, adaptation and there should be flexibility. One struggles with that, and you may deal with people who are actually uh, challenging your ways of living life. You don't want to change certain aspects of your journey, and the people who are in your life, they tend to change you. They tend to have a control over your emotions. So that is a struggle with Saturn in the 8th house, and how to heal your connections with this placement is not to be afraid of people. That courage, that power should be there, that no matter where life takes you, you will be able to take care of it. You are mature enough that you can create good things. Even if life gives you challenges, you know how to find the direction to transform and reshape. This is the house of rebirth, and many times your connections, certain relationships may break and they may get better again. They may break and then they may get better again. So maybe a relationship goes in cycles for you, until and unless you learn the lesson and finally you break that chain of relationships. Because with this placement, it's difficult that you're finding someone who is challenging you, hurting you all the time, and then eventually that person will be good for you. If someone is challenging, I think you may get yourself hurt a lot of times from that person, until unless you learn, and then you are this phoenix. You rise from the ashes and you will say, okay, I'm done, and then the magic happens to come out of the fears you have regarding relationships. Saturn in the 9th house, it's about freedom. You want freedom. You want your own space to grow. You have your own philosophy about life. You want to create your life, develop your life in a way where you have a certain mindset. This is what life is, and I want to align with it. I want to follow this belief system. Now, the struggle is one deals with people who have a very different belief system, whether it's love, whether it's the people, and especially with the teachers, the belief system never matches. The people who come into your life, they act like gurus, they act like teachers. You're supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do that, and then you act like a rebel, or you act in a certain way that you further create so many restrictions that you stop growing. Here, your purpose should align with the other person's purpose. Then only you can develop strong friendships. Then only you can develop strong relationships with the people. If the purpose doesn't align, if the belief system doesn't align, you'll have a very hard time in your relationships. And you want freedom. You really need that freedom to chase your career goals. You need freedom to chase maybe your hobbies, whatever you want to learn in life, what you want to experience in life. So it's better to have someone on your side who is having similar interests or desires. And also, where do you see the most challenges? You want to explore the world. but there is inner resistance, there is some fear as well, but yet you move forward and you want to experience that adventure. So you reach to that place and you feel, oh wow, I accomplished this adventure. But the real adventure starts from there when you reach your destination, and the adversity you may deal with, the people you may meet over there. From there starts the true adventures of life. So, how to heal your relationships in this life? You have to be very open minded, and whatever you learn from others, remember it as wisdom. Remember it as like the chapters in a book. Don't discard what you learn from people. Whatever they have to say, remember it. You don't have to believe it, but remember it. Because in this life, with this placement of Saturn, you're creating a book of experiences. And with every experience, you discover something about yourself. You have to strengthen the faith in your own self with these different chapters of life. And the more you have faith in yourself, the more you are connected to divine. And the more you have faith in your life, in your ideas and purpose and dreams, you attract people who will be very supportive. And they will love you for your adventurous side. They will love you for how you are a multitasker, you know so much. Saturn in the 10th house. This is a powerful placement. And what I have seen with this placement, people do really well in their careers, yet these are the people who struggle the most. Why? Because there is this need to have things arranged or happen the way they want to. They know they are successful, they know they are very powerful, and whatever they do, it will bring great result. But there's a lot of irritation happens when even you see a slightest challenge here with this placement. That need to have everything in order, it makes everything difficult. So what happens? You attain a powerful position at work front, in society, you see a lot of respect, you are someone who keeps everything in check, everything in order. And when it comes to the personal relationships, a reflection of you at the work front is there falling on your relationships. You may not have the intention to dominate someone, but you may not be someone who is emotionally vulnerable in the relationship. Not even vulnerable, like simply that delicate emotional side is not there. So the other person may think, okay, where are your emotions? Why you act a bit tough on the other person? And what you may see from other people is that they expect you to have certain like they expect you to do a lot for them. They expect you to be someone on whom they can depend upon you. So it's difficult. Others may depend on you, but you cannot depend on others. This is the struggle. And how to heal your relationships with this placement is, again, learning to sometimes say no, learning to tell other people that they have to stand for themselves. You can help them, you can rescue them to a certain extent, But again, how much they should depend upon you, it's you who have to set the boundary. You have to set the bar. Because with this placement, relationships may look more like responsibility and less like something which is about love, about bliss, about joy. There's more of work and work. Relationships do look like a burden because, again, a lot of expectations from you. They think that they can depend upon you. Along with that, you have to also focus on the needs of your own self, because there's so much of ambition with this placement, a focus towards work, that you almost have no time to take care of your emotional fulfillment and joy. Saturn in 11th house. Your journey is about wanting people to be on your side, having more friends, having more people to celebrate this life. This is how the initiation is, and eventually with this placement, you're someone who is having few friends but quality friends. Even if one friend is there, it's a quality friend. Rest, you don't care. You don't want to be with anyone who just takes away a lot of energy from you, because you may attract such people who are here to take more from you. This is the house of desire. It shows your desire to have networks, to have more associations, more people, more friends in your life, and you will be blessed with the people. But are you happy with them? Eventually, there's a lot of realization that quality over quantity is what you want with respect to people in your journey. And you are the one who may help more, give more, rescue others, provide more. And it's not about what you get in return, but it's about respect, how you are being treated in return. And that matters to you a lot, because this is not just the house of Saturn but also the house of Rahu. And the Rahu also plays a vital role, which makes you this rebel who will not take any nonsense from others. The more the people may challenge you in this life, the more you will grow and go higher. The more you touch abundance in this journey. So the trigger from others, it enhances your finances, it enhances your professional success. You have a very hard lesson to learn, who needs your help and who doesn't. And this is giving a lot of connections, relationships, friendships, romantic connections, where you may see many failures or challenges. Because from here, Saturn aspects the fifth house of romance. And why you meet so many people? Because you have to learn where to invest, where to go in life with respect to people who can help you to grow, rather than making you feel empty and taking everything away from you. Because this is the house of growth, 11th house, fulfillment of desires. So the people you may see with respect to love, romance, they may come into your life, and somewhere they will stop you from chasing your own goals. They may stop you to be yourself sometimes, or simply your relationships may be as such that they indirectly impacts your career and your focus towards your own goals. So the karma here is to learn about quality over quantity with respect to people, love in this journey. And how to heal your relationships? Well, the only way to heal your relationships is to respect the people who truly love you. They are there for you all the time, and to literally uproot such people. Just keep them at a distance who are just here to take advantage of your skill set, of your money, of your success. You have to draw a line between these two kinds of people, no matter how it may hurt, the other people, but you have to create a line because there's more to take from you. So be very selective with respect to people. Saturn in the 12th house. So, how it reflects on your relationships. With this placement, one feels that he or she is far better when alone, when left alone, doing your own thing. And this is, I think, a great lesson coming through Saturn, to be very happy in your own company. No, I'm not saying that Saturn here denies relationships. In fact, I have seen so many charts with Saturn here. One deals with a lot of loneliness, but one also gets the bliss of a great companionship. But the thing is, this is the house of subconscious, and I always say with respect to 12th house, what you do for yourself, how you treat yourself, it will hugely impact your relationships, your career, your finances. So that self-treatment is important. So self-sabotaging, okay? And sometimes you hurting your own self-loathing, there is guilt within. I'm not capable enough, I cannot do this, do that. This ideology needs to go away. With this placement, one tends to face this isolation, this feeling of loneliness. It's not because you are hurt by others, but when you are hurt by others, you really treat yourself very badly, like you don't deserve good things, maybe something wrong with you, that's why others are not respecting you. There is no awareness of self, no knowledge of self. And even no matter, sometimes people may come and tell you, good people in your life, they're telling you're wonderful, but still you will not believe it, because this is the struggle. That eureka moment, that happiness, that sense of confidence, it will happen by itself. It's you, how much you learn, how much time do you take to learn that you're beautiful and you are so powerful, you are wonderful. Even when you are alone, you enjoy your company. When you reach to that point, that is the point where no one can shake your core, no one can bother you. You're happy with people's company, and even you are happy when alone. This is the level of strength and confidence you must attain. This is the karma. The most challenging part is, just like the Saturn in the 8th house, even Saturn in the 12th house is a placement where anyone can come into your mind space and can leave you rattled, can shake you up just by saying few words. So the strength of self is significant here. And overwhelming response to situations It's okay to experience that. The other people, how they approach you, their emotions can make you feel overwhelming. When you get into their battles, when you participate in their issues, you are more rattled and challenged, and they heal. You heal others and you get shook by their problems, because other people's challenges, when you deal with them, when you help them, you're helping them, that's wonderful. But somewhere their challenge triggers the challenges in your mind. So you have to help others wisely. You have to take care of your emotions, of your mind. Protection of self is significant in relationships, and relationships do get better with this placement as you get older, as the age advances. Friends, with respect to love, marriage, the relationship matures beautifully, and no space for people who are immature. You cannot be with people who themselves are very immature emotionally. They are not wise, they cannot handle life. You cannot be with such people. So you have to protect yourself. You have to choose with whom you have to spend time, and you will be more happy with people who are more older than you or very young than you. There's always some huge difference with respect to age, and these people, they are very happy in your company and you're very happy with their company. So how to heal your relationships? Be wise. Be wise and understand who is taking more from you and who truly just disrespects you. You're not meant for superficial relationships.